FlossTube. I am Rhea, and this is my channel, The Blue Coast Stitcher. Welcome to my little corner of the FlossTube world. It's a quiet, cozy corner. There's not too many of us. Grab a cup of tea and sit back and relax as I try to verbalize what has been going on in my world and my plans for 2024. So today's date is Friday, January the 12th, 2024. I cannot believe that I'm saying those words, 2024. 2023 was a huge blur for me. And we had some major upheavals, and which involved, of course, in October, a major move where we had this past summer sold the house that we had lived in for 21 years. We had completely renovated it from top to bottom and made it into a home that resembled us. We raised our children to adulthood when we moved in. They were 20 months, 4 years old, and 6. I have to do the math there. And when we moved out, they were 23, 25, and the oldest had just turned 28. She was 27 when we sold it, but she turned 28 after we moved, just before we moved. So yeah, that was huge. So my last FlossTube was December plans, and everything was kind of up in the air. We still weren't really settled. Christmas was coming, and I did not decorate this year. I decided I had enough on my plate. Excuse me while I take a cup of tea. And 2 out of 3 children came home. Our oldest, Laura, the one who's 28, she ended up moving herself at the end of November. And unfortunately, we could not help her because she's overseas. She's been finishing up her PhD at the University of Glasgow. Fascinating university, and she got a postdoctoral position at a research facility down in England. So she moved the end of November, and my little tiny baby girl did it all on her own. Other than some financial help from us, she did it all on her own, and she started her postdoc position this week, Monday. She started this past Monday, and now it's 2:30 here, so she's probably done her workday there, as they were about 5-6 hours ahead of us. So yeah, some big changes in that world. Amanda, our second, came home from the University of Toronto, was home for 3 weeks for the Christmas holidays. She got to finish settling her room, as last time she was here was reading week in November, and she ended up with COVID and ended up staying an extra week so she could recover and make sure she was negative. So she, on the train ride back, she wore a mask as well, but we made sure she was negative so she did not transmit to anybody who is more vulnerable than her, because you don't know, in especially group settings. Daniel, our youngest, he came down from Kingston. He's with his girlfriend. They spent Christmas Day with her family, and Boxing Day they arrived here. And they also were here for about a week, and they used that time period to get their room settled. And the big one was on the 30th, we hosted the Jenkins get-together. My family's rather small. I'm first-generation Canadian. One of 2 girls in the family. Both my parents have since passed. My mom passed in 2017, my dad in 1989. And my half-sister lives all the way up in Collingwood. And so I really don't have any family. I have some extended family here, but we're kind of scattered. Most of them are further out east or in Montreal, and one cousin ended up moving back he's in Germany. He's a professor. Anyways, so I myself don't have much in terms of family here, but my husband is the middle of 5 children and the oldest boy. 3 girls, 2 boys. He's the oldest boy, and he's like number 3, so he's smack dab in the middle, and all 5 kids have gone on to have children. And we did not have everybody here from the Jenkins, but we totaled think it was 23. Now my nephew and his wife have he was born in July, August, September, October, November, December, a 5-month-old. And so we had a 5-month-old, that was number 24, but he didn't really take up a seat, all the way up to my father-in-law, who is 83. So we had quite the age range, 23 of us. Not everybody make it. Of course, my daughter Laura is overseas. She can't come over. She's hoping maybe 2024 to come over. We don't know yet. I have another niece who lives in Montreal. She couldn't come down. And then 2 nieces, they were in BC visiting their mother. Everybody else was here. And let's just say we have a large open concept kitchen, living, little breakfast area. It's just one big room. I love it. Massive cathedral not cathedral, but really high ceilings. And we have also a separate smallish dining room. So we had some people in the dining room, and then the majority of people, we set up some tables, the folding tables, the big ones. And the night before, the 29th, we set it up, and I'm in the kitchen because I'm in prep mode. I'm an overachiever if I host, and I'm a nutritionist and I like the kitchen. So I was making beet dip, I was making roasted red pepper dip, I was getting the vegetables and and all that, right? And making like a sugar-free, gluten-free dessert because we have some diabetics in the family, etc. Anyways, my husband and my other kids that were here, the 2, Daniel, Amanda, and his girlfriend Kate, set up the tables, and we had chairs, and then we borrowed chairs from his sisters that are in the area and his parents. They're all in this area. And I just looked at it and I said, this room looks like a giant mess hall. It was unbelievable. It was loud, it was chaotic, but it was good because of the first time as an extended family with everybody that we could be together since before the pandemic. And we're fortunate in that our new house here, we have the space to be able to host something like that. It's a brand new house, so it's open concept. So we have that space. And it was quite lovely, and it was nice to see. I think my husband's mom, my mother-in-law, really looked forward to it because she does miss getting all her kids together, all her babies, and I can understand that, where she's coming from. And so we had that. That was the 30th. New Year's Eve, I know a lot of people were doing 12 by 12 for stitching, but New Year's Eve, we tend to keep it low key. It was just Dave, my husband Dave, myself, our daughter Amanda, our son Daniel, I should say, and his girlfriend Kate. Here for New Year's Eve, we kept it low key. I'm Dutch, so my daughter made oliebollen, which is just basically deep fried balls of dough, which you dip in ice and sugar. Well, Dave and I cleaned up on the 31st from everybody we hosted on the 30th, got all the tables, and then I could relax and enjoy New Year's Eve. And New Year's Day, we played some games, said Happy New Year, and went to bed. I'm one of those people, I'm a party pooper when it comes to New Year's Eve. And I think it's because especially when my kids were younger, I put so much effort into Christmas. And then by the time New Year's came, I was like, I'm done. And I'm just not one big on New Year's resolutions. So, and if you follow my business channel, you can see why. And yeah, anyways, so we did that. In December, I also attended the Jingle Ball. Took a couple of classes. I took the class with the Blue Flower and with Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design, her Rock Around the Block. Fascinating concept. Of course, at that point when the Jingle Ball happened, I didn't know where most of my stuff was, so I didn't have anything stitched, where I think other stitchers had like the project stitched and we're just walking through with the instructors to put together either like the Blue Flower Biscornu or the Hands On Design Rock Around the Block square. But I had fun watching, learning, taking notes, so that when I do get around to those projects, I have an idea of what to do. I've never made a Biscornu before, and I think Around the Block, the square, will be a good stepping stone. I'm not much of a sewer. Anyways, love the Jingle Ball. Of course, I bought a few projects because I'm in Canada. It was all PDF, so my printer was busy the next day. And I worked a bit on the holiday countdown through Jacob of Modern Folk Embroidery, Carrie from Roxy Floss Co. and Caroline and crew from Evertoad. So that was it. But again, December tends to be a bit crazy, so not too much cross-stitching went on. When I did do it, it was usually the holiday countdown. I really didn't do any other projects during December, and that seems to be normal for me just because there's always so much going on. So slowly with the new year, Daniel and Kate went back around the 4th because he had to start, he's doing his Masters of Engineering Robotics at Queen's, so he had some stuff he had to get set up. So they left early, I think like the 3rd, no, they left the 4th because the 5th he had to get some things in a row because classes were beginning the 7th. Amanda went back the 6th, and that was just not even a week ago, and then just trying to catch up on our world here. And I managed to do a New Year's new start and make some plans. So first off, I caught up on some Floss Tubers. So I want to do a few shout outs first. I finally caught up, not caught up because I don't think I will ever catch up with every single Floss Tuber that I follow on FlossTube. It seems like I'm constantly adding who I'm subscribing to. But I did manage to watch a few this week. First was Force City Stitching, and I'm loving, she was showing the What Remains is Love by Blackbird Designs. I love Blackbird Designs, and I love the progress that she has been making on that piece. Then the Stitching Owl. She is working on a full coverage piece called the Stained Glass Owl, and you can see the feathers. It's going to be stunning when she's done. And she serenaded us with, because she's a musician, a beautiful piece of piano at the end of her video. And I guess, again, I've been behind on my FlossTube with everything going on. I guess this is something she added to her FlossTube channel, and I can't wait to see more. And then there was La Di Da, Laura. So I started watching her Whip Parade part 1. So she broke it up in 2 parts. And I just got started watching it. So she's one of my favorite YouTube Floss Tubers. And yeah, like I said, I love a good Whip Parade. There's a lot of Whip Parades going on. So I might, hopefully this weekend, if you hear anything, I'm in my office. We've got a big storm starting to roll in here, and I can see the wind starting to really pick up, facing the lake, and it gets really windy coming off the lake, but it's right now southeast, so hopefully it won't interfere with the acoustics of this video. But anyways, I'm hoping, because we're going to be snowed in this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed, I really want a good snowstorm, that I can watch some more Whip Parades on FlossTube. And the biggest Whip Parade I've watched so far, I've only watched a couple, is Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. And I loved how she broke it down into categories, which she had picked up from another Floss Tuber. It's fun how we inspire each other. And she's just talking about how she's fallen into the sampler rabbit hole, which I have fallen in feet first a few years ago when I started. And she showed her progress on, is it Consider the Lilies by Heartstring Samplery? Oh my God, it is stunning. Wow. So go see Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch and her Whip Parade. I can't wait to see when I watch Laura from Lottie Da Stitches what her Whip Parade will reveal, part 1 and part 2, because apparently she's got a lot of whips, and I feel her. So let's talk about my plans for 2024. So when it comes to my cross stitch, I see the Floss Tubers out there and I admire them that they have their Whip Go boards, which I looked into it, not for me, but you know, they plan everything. They've got, okay, this is what I'm gonna do in 2024 or 2023. They even will say, because they use the app on a tablet for some of their patterns. I'm showing my old age here. And they'll say, okay, I've completed this many stitches, so therefore the project is 10%, 20%, 50%, whatever done. I'm stitching because I enjoy it. I'm I'm enjoying the journey, and I'm not one to make plans and document step by step what I'm doing, where I've been, where I've started with my projects. But I do enjoy making plans. Like when it comes to vacations, I love planning vacations, holidays, day-to-day living. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants kind of girl. And even with my stitching, it's been a fly by the seat of my pants. I'd get it, you know, I'm a good collector. And my collection is getting quite large. When I first started stitching again a few years ago, you know, I'd have a few projects. I'd start one, start another. It was no big, it was easier to track because I pick up the bag, oh, what's this? So having more projects is showing me that I need to have a better system in keeping track of my whips and track of what I have fully kitted and what I have not kitted yet. Last year for 2023, I had this pink journal that anytime I did a start, I would write it down. And you know, what it, you know, the fabric and the thread usually is like, you know, called for fabric or not called for thread, or if I did a conversion, etc. Right? And when I started it and when I finished it, I don't have too many finishes. I have 2 somewhere in the house, but that's about it for me right now. I've got a lot of whips and a lot of kitted, and this is not working because it would just make a note in the book as I started. But now, especially since over between Christmas and New Year's and after New Year's, I was able to find all my cross stitch projects and organize them between, these are projects I have started, these are projects I have fully kitted, and these are ones that aren't fully kitted or just the stack of cross stitch magazines and patterns that I have picked up that I haven't even picked out a thread or fabric for yet, just needs to be kitted. So the plus side of the upheaval that I've experienced in 2023 is that I've been able to take stock of what is going on in my crafting world. We are getting ready to do my craft space. We're going to be doing, hopefully we can order, looking at IKEA, some stuff you can order online for a delivery fee, and the cost of delivery is actually worth it considering how far we have to drive from our new house in southwestern Ontario to the nearest Canadian IKEA, which is in Burlington. In our old house, it was only an hour drive, but now it's like 3 hours or whatever, depending on traffic. And this time of year, especially by us, the 402 can get extreme whiteouts out of nowhere. So we're keeping an eye on the IKEA stock basically, and we had an idea, and then they went out of stock. So, and if we have to, because they don't deliver everything, we will take the SUV and drive to Burlington, book a day off. So that's that possibility. But in the meantime, I need to organize what I do have properly. So I'm hoping to create a spreadsheet for my whips. I'm still writing down, but I want to do a spreadsheet so that I can sort them by alphabetical order. I think for me, that'll be best. If not, I can organize it by start date, which is what this is. But to me, alphabetical is calling me to do that. So that's a big job because I haven't used Excel in years. And Excel's had a few changes in the last 20 years. So we'll see. So there's that. What else is going on? We're still settling. We're still feathering our nest. I would say we're 90% feathered. I'm stepping back from my business as nutritionist for this winter so I can just take a full restock of my world. So that's another major plan, and hence organizing my cross stitch, organizing this office a bit more, and where I want to go. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. And so this, for me, my word of the year, I do word of the year, is recalibrate. was talking to a friend, and it's like back in early December, and it's like, I've had so much upheaval, so much change. I need to stop, take a breath, and decide where to go from here. I'm very fortunate that I can afford to take a stop with my business and just breathe, recalibrate, figure out where I want to go from here. I'm still missing some boxes. I'm missing a box of journals, and one has my recipe development books in it because I want to get back into that. And my menopause course that I was working on before all the chaos between selling the house that was my office, that was in the spring, and we put everything into storage in June, July, with the plan that we wouldn't sell the family home till 2024 at the earliest. And then fast forward to the end of July, beginning of August, we found a realtor, I should say, found this house for us. We fell in love, perfect place. Mad scurry for an intense week, the first week of end of July, beginning of August, where we had to take 21 years of living and make it presentable for showcasing, and then selling the house and the staging, the selling. And then Dave and I, once the dust settled by my birthday in August, my birthday's August 21st, we kind of looked at each other and went, holy crap, things escalated a little quickly. So this year is definitely a recalibration for me, professionally and also personally. So I am using this 2024 to organize my cross-stitch world, because flying by the seat of my pants with the number of projects I have is not working. And I know there's a lot of people doing 24 starts in 2024. I think it was Pam from Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. I think Pam originally started this concept of 24 new starts in 2024. And then other people are doing their twists and turns on it. And I'm not sure, I haven't looked at one of their videos in a while, if she plans to do 24 new starts on New Year's Day or through the month of January or what it was. I sat and thought about it. There's no freaking way I'm going to do 24 starts on New Year's Day or in the month of January. So I thought, let's just pick out, as I went through my cross-stitch projects, 24 new starts for the year. So this was New Year's Day. I just sat down. So that is the plan. 24 starts for the year of 2024, so I can get through the stash of kitted projects I have. And this, looking at, I'll show you the projects later, but first I want to show you my sets. I need to get some finishes in. It's all fine and dandy to get those 24 starts in for 2024 and add it to my whip pile, but I also need to make sure that the whip pile doesn't grow by 24 and I don't get through what's currently in there. So that also allowed me to sit down with my current whips, and I'm not going to show you, this is not going to be a whip parade. I'm going to show you right now some of the whips that I want to focus on for 2024 and get them finished for 2024. Fully finished is a whole other story. I have never fully finished a project yet, other than the stitching that I did in college that I showed you, the little 1987 that I stitched, 88 teddy bear. So before we get on to the 24 starts for 24, I want to show you some of the whips that I've decided that I would like to focus on, because I'm getting to a point that I know I can finish them if I focus. Recalibrate and focus. When it comes to my cross-stitching world, I should be focused, because I do get very distracted. And I tend to ramble, in case you didn't notice, as we are 24 minutes in and I have not showed one piece of cross-stitch. Okay, let's get down to business. So this I picked up at Stitch North 2022. So this year it will be 2 years in my whip pile. And It is Isabellas Heart by Modern Folk Embroidery. I gotta look it up. Oh, it's a good thing I have my little book here. And do I have it written down? Probably not. It's 32 count. Billie Jean, Blue Jean. I thought I had the little, see, that's another reason why I want alphabetical, because I don't see it. Yeah, I think it's Billie Jean. Anyways, this is how far. So I'm over halfway, and I would really like to finish it for this year. So that is a whip that I want to have marked down as a not fully finished, but finished. I'll probably frame it, I don't know. All right. Oops. So, oops, I did not zipper this open. Sorry. The second piece is the current, well, the 2023 holiday countdown from Modern Folk Embroidery, Roxy Floss Co. and Evertote. Like I said, December is just never a good month for me stitching wise. Just, it isn't, because, you know, this is me we're talking about. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I had a little self-confession. I was really struggling with day 1, you stitch this, day 2, you stitch this, day 3, you stitch this. I was really struggling with it. And I got to a point, and there was a lot of frogging, a lot of mistakes. I said, screw it. This is not how this brain of mine works. And I need to see the big picture of what this pattern is going to be so that I can strategize my stitching to the way my brain works, so I don't end up frustrating with all the frogging and the mistakes and everything else. So I just opened up every single envelope, organized my threads, and I do the baggies because if I don't, it becomes a tangled hot mess, because I don't know how people when they keep them on floss drops, so neat and tidy and pretty. I have a hard enough time keeping my hair combed, hence this, let alone keeping my threads straight. So baggy, and I'm not going to show you because it's still in the Q snap, but, and if you go on social media, you will see what the finished project will be. And I'm doing good progress. It's on 32 count, is it pistachio? I don't remember. Isn't that terrible? Anyways, I will finish this. I just need to concentrate. And I'm loving the threads and the little added project that Jacob, threw in there. So the other project that I would like to finish is the one that I started at Jacob Palooza this past fall. I was there the week before we closed on this house. Let me find it. Those are the tutorials. Okay. Tietja and Gretia, a Frisian mother and daughter sampler from 1774 to 1801. I did not get too far. I don't usually stitch much. It's on speculas. I am Frisian, in case you didn't know. So it's doable to get it done. It's not far, but if I focus, and it's like I said, this is my winter to feather my nest and settle in. So I am, once the kids now have left, so I can focus. I'm hoping to do some stitching after this. Talk more about that later. So that's another one that I would like to finish in 2024. And what's this one? I thought I unzipped it. I'm sorry. Another modern folk embroidery. How doth the little busy bee pincushion. So it's not a big project. I can't remember when I started it. It's on 32 count Night Owl, and the thread is called Tournesol. So I can stitch this winter, dreaming about spring as I watch the snow fly. Right now the snow's not flying outside. I don't have my glasses on, but I can tell you the snow's not flying yet, but it's coming. It's very windy, but yeah. So that is something I would like to definitely finish this year for 2024. Okay, what else do I have in here? So one of the very first pieces, I mentioned this in a whip parade a while ago, I think it was video number 1. I love Blackbird. Oh, I love it. And I have all the patterns for the Loose Feathers Abecedarian series. So I had picked up number 4 at Stitches Central when they were in Ingersoll years ago. Now they're in London. And I would like to finish this. It's not a big piece. This is on 32 count Belfast linen mocha. It's not a huge piece. And again, focus. And who knows, since I tend to fly by the seat of my pants, this might not even get done. But this is my plan. And I'm going to put an effort into it. So, and then I have enough here to do another one of the Loose Feathers patterns onto this. And then I'll just have to get some more fabric and thread, and yeah, bit by bit. This one is maybe I'll finish. I got it Christmas 2022, and it's from Park Hopper Bart through Evertote, Be Merry All. If you look at Caroline, she finished it. So it's a sad start. What did I do it on? I usually keep the little taggy thingies that tell you. 32 count Billie Jean. I tend to be 32 count. I'm not very far, but it's a I just poked myself with a needle. It is a sampler style, and I think it's doable. That is a possibility. What else do I have here? Oh, that's not one of my whips to finish. Yeah, I don't know if I'll finish this. From the gold collection, when we were Old House, I lived close to 10 minutes from Mary Maxim, and I remember picking this up in it was before my mom died. She died in 2017. We were having renovations. Which one, I don't remember. We had a whole series. I do remember there was a mattress on the floor in the dining room behind me, so it might have been the master bath, which was 2015. So, and I started watching FlossTube and got distracted. So, oh, and there's food on it. Oh, you can see the stain because I did it at the kitchen table during renovations. It's on Ada, of course, called for 4 threads. So we'll see. Now, the next one is my oldest whip. It's not cross stitch. And damn it, I am going to finish it. It's been in my whip pile since 1990. I started in 91 and dropped it in 92. It's the Carousel Horse from Dimensions. Picked it up at Woolco across the street when I lived in London in Oak Ridge. And I'm so close. So, and I found everything I need. I found the pattern, I found the threads. So there's like French knots to go here. There's a lot of back stitching in this circle. But yeah, so close. And I'm figuring 32 years because I put it down in 1992 because we got married. And I moved into, in early 1992, I moved into, I was sharing an apartment with a roommate. And then I moved into my own place and then wedding planning. So yeah, I might have dropped it in 91 because I moved the end of 91 into my own apartment. Oh, good Lord. So 32, possibly 33 years ago. I didn't have a book that I wrote down my starts. Like, again, fly by the seat of my pants. Okay. So now those are the whips that I'm hoping to get done. Some I definitely will get done. The Holiday Countdown, the Carousel Horse, Isabellas Heart, definitely will get done. Circin Grecia, I want to get that done. I am Frisian, I want to get it done. So that's that. So let's move on to 24 starts for 2024. And I already misplaced one of my charts. Okay, so I had a New Year's Day, New Year's start. Excuse me. And things have gone awry already. I will insert a picture shortly. If I can do this right, my technology challenged brain can do this, of what it is that I have to frog. So I started on New Year's Day, My Precious Jewel by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. It's currently on my floor frame and I did not feel like taking it off at this point in time because I'm a little pissed off with it right now. More like my own. See, focus. See, recalibrate and focus. This is where the focus issues. So I am motoring along. I am loving the stitch. I am using 32 count Ancient by Picture This Plus and the called for threads. And so I start with the border and I decided to start with this tree and this tree. And so this one's the little one. Kind of screwed that up, no big deal. Took out a few stitches, fixed it. Then I started doing this one. I'm all excited and I'm getting up there and I'll show you the picture. And I got almost to the top and I went, something's not right. Instead of starting it here, I put the tree trunk there. So I finished it last night. I ripped out the entire tree trunk. I was like 3/4 of the way done. And I thought, do I put it in timeout? I was like, no. So I ripped out the tree trunk. After supper tonight, I am going to start restitching the tree trunk in the right place. This one is out of place too, but I figured let me stitch this first and see if this still looks like totally screwed up. I will frog it and put it where it belongs. But yeah, so it's supposed to be here and I started it here. So by the time I got to this branch, I realized, oh crap. And yeah, it was, and I know why. I wasn't focused like I should be. So let's see if I can put the picture here. All right. Now, I picked out 24, so that was one. So let's go through all the others. I'm already taking too long. It's been 38 minutes. Hope you're enjoying your tea because I am. And the trees are blowing. We're supposed to get gusts of wind. I think it's supposed to be like 80, 85 kilometers an hour. And then, as I've learned, living by the lake, it's a lot stronger. But I am loving living by the lake. I try to go down to the beach whenever I can. What is this one? Oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is what I picked up at Jacobpalooza. And it's In the Garden of Holland, a Dutch sampler, 1857. So I picked it up at Jacobpalooza, and I'm going to be using 32 count speculoos. And I'm pretty sure I picked up more than I need because that's what I tend to do, so that I can use it for another project I have an idea. So, and then with Jacob Palooza, because Jacob has this charted with DMC. So it went up to Carrie. I said, Carrie, can you help me with a floss toss conversion for this project? Because it's all done in DMC and all my stuff's packed up at home. So she did a floss toss, and Carrie, her brilliant mind when it comes to color. No wonder she is phenomenal in what she does with the yarn, the floss, the fabric. Phenomenal. So she did a floss toss, and of course I didn't have time to sit down and wrap my brain around what colors go with what DMC color. So I was able to sit down before Christmas, because this is one of the ones, because it was Jacob Palooza, I had it at the ready. Oh, I can't open the pouch. Hold, please. I screwed up. My floss is stuck in the zipper. Crap. Breathe, Rhea, breathe. You've got this, girl. All right, I need a bigger pouch. So I was able to sit down. I found my DMC booklet, so that, because my brain doesn't work like her brain. Like, she'll look at the picture and go, okay, you know, we're gonna put Nobel here, and we're gonna use Virlande here, right? I printed off the DMC list and I wrote down which one is which. So, and in doing so, I ended up adding some other colors to what she had picked out for me, so that each DMC color now has a Roxy Floss Co conversion. The big one that I added was in, was it September's Floss Club from Roxy Floss Co Evertote Fuji, and so that was one. So there's a lot of thread, some because some of the colors are used in multiples, but yeah. So I am really looking forward to it. Let me see if I can show you. I know it's pure chaos. Welcome to my brain. My brain is always in a million directions, and you will see that the more floss tubes you watch of me. And I think I got extra for some other projects. My stash is growing, and I'm excited because I was able to pull some of these out of my stash and add to, and then the only thing I had to buy some more of was the Fuji. I need one more skein, so I bought 2 or 3 skeins. They got shipped today of the Fuji, which Hannah added around New Year's to the store as a single floss purchase. So yeah, quite the floss conversion. I sat down. Athena the cat helped me, and I'm excited to see. So definitely going to get this started. 32 count speculas. Oh, and I got a needle minder to go with it. Stitch and Be Merry. It's one of the original Jacob. Yeah, I'm still processing. I never had a chance to finish processing what happened in Jacob Palooza and all the excitement and the... Anyway, so that is another one. Okay, so there's no haul because some of my starts are things that I got for Christmas, and this is one of them. The kids, Daniel, Kate, and Amanda, purchased a couple things for me off of 123 Stitch, and this one is definitely going to be started. Borealis Fox by Primitive Hair. They got it kitted via, that's what I love about 123. 32 count Tempest. I think it's gonna be gorgeous. Like, oh my god. Using the call for DMC, I'm not gonna open the pack. And then there's a Threadworks. Oh, it's lost. There it is. And there's a Threadworks in there. So that is going to be a start for 2024. And that was Merry Christmas from three, because Kate is one of my kids now. She's been around for a while. They also got me, and they realized afterwards that it didn't come with fabric. So I ordered fabric from 123 Stitch. I got a $150 gift certificate from my mother-in-law. It was really hard to spend. I sat down a couple days ago. And yeah. So it is from Lila Studios, the Bee Sampler. It's like a roll. And I ordered 40 count. I've never stitched on 40 count. This is, Rhea is working out of her 32 count comfort zone year. Tyco, I'm really bad at penmanship. Using the called for Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art. There's only 3 colors. Threads. And so it's going to be not what this is called for. What's the called for fabric on this? Mellow, which 123 Stitch didn't have. And of course, let me take it out of the plastic. I'm sorry. I am sitting across from the window because I get good light. So that is going to be a start. The fabric, I got the email that order has been shipped. So much for no spend January. Okay, what's this one? This is, oh, I ordered this myself a while ago. And I'm definitely, like Lila Studio, I am falling in love seeing some of the projects. I'm going to start the Spring Quaker, so I might start this for March, the solstice. Not the solstice, the equinox. Solstice is in June, I know that. Anyways, so called for threads. Again, they're in a plastic baggie. Classic Color Works DMC on 32 count vintage country mocha Belfast. Plastic baggie, sorry. I'm definitely like, definitely a start. Okay. And I have written these down and counted them 1 to 24, so I do not have no more, no less than 24. Okay, I picked this up, Stitch North 2023. Modern Folk Embroidery, NGD 1699. Flower sampler. Absolutely stunning. Of course, Roxy Floss Co. and Evertote. 32 count porcelain. Like I said, I'm a 32 count girl. Me getting 40 count. Ooh. Yeah, my eyes. We'll see. I got a magnifier, so step outside the comfort zone. And then the threads. Come on. The threads. There's a red in there. There it is. Which red is it? Hippie. Let's bring it out, bring it out. So, that, I definitely want to get started on that. Okay, next, Teresa Kogan. How did I get this? Pastime Pieces at Stitch North 2023. That is it. Okay, now this has a lot of thread. This one, and it's Teresa Kogan's. I've never stitched one of hers. Strawberry Manor. It was one of her market releases from last year, I believe. And I love samplers. I love the history of samplers. Definitely that. Losing my pens. 32 count vintage country mocha Belfast. I'm consistent. Call for threads. So We got some Weeks Dye Works. We've got some DMC. We got a lot of everything. Let me show you. I cannot, my hands cannot hold it all. What can I say? All right. This will give you an idea. You can see Strawberry Manor, so there's going to be reds. I love red. So, yeah. We shall see what, oops, I put my pens away. I'm still in my office because the basement is not done yet. Maximum cross stitch, there is always room. I have yet to, actually, I've got some of her pieces, but I have yet to start one. And all right, again, see, hot mess, Rhea. 32 count porcelain, called for Roxy Floss Co. threads. And then there was, I think, a couple of DMCs that they didn't convert that I picked up. Which one is this? DMC 3853 and 931. Yeah. Why do I have 3853? I have some thread that's not on the thread list, I don't think. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. Anyways. It's going to be so much fun to be able to work on that. So, Ellen, I am going to stitch at least one of your projects this year. Because she keeps coming out with more that's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. All right, next. Winter Stars, Modern Folk Embroidery. On, I hear the paper, 32 count snickerdoodle. And I started Winter Kaleidoscope last fall. And that was my first time really focusing on a monochromatic piece along with the Doth the Busy Bee. And I'm finding there's something to be said about those monochromatic pieces. So it's just, I don't know, even though it's just one color, like I love the pieces that are colorful, but then I also find myself very drawn to the monochromatic pieces with just one color, and I'm using Fallow Red. And it's gonna go on this 32 count snickerdoodle. All right, let's put that away. Okay, another Jacob piece. The Wings of the Dove. I think I picked this up. Stitch North, oops, 22. Wings of the Dove. And another monochromatic that I just love. Oops, 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 oops. And I am using, it's probably gonna be 32 count, because that's what I do, blank slate. And the thread is mollusk. So it's a nice, almost like an antique-y off-white white. That is definitely going to be a start. And hopefully, oops, as I get this floss tube thing down pat, now that I'm getting settled in my years, this year's gonna be a bit more predictable. I can get some more stitching done. Oh, this is a big one. I have seen some floss tubers do a lot of the hawk run stuff, and from carriage house samplings, and I just love what I have seen with the hawk run hollow projects that have been completed or in the process of. So I picked up a few over the last few years, kitted some, and I have yet to start any of them. So I thought, you know what? I am going to start a Hawk Run Hollow. I'm going to do spring at Hawk Run Hollow. I have no idea. Maybe if I move my face out of the way. So I am using Weeks Dye Works 32 count straw. And this will be new for me. I have never worked with NPI needlepoint silks. I have never worked with them before. Again, Rhea is stepping out of her comfort zone. First it's, you know, not 32 count, it's getting to the higher counts, and now I'm doing silks. So I got called for NPI silks. Plastic bags, you can't really, I don't want to take them out. So yeah, I went to Stitches Central and got it kitted about a year and a half ago. And yeah, let's do this. That's a big project, but we can do it. I can do hard things. Yes, I can. All right, sorry. Okay. This I bought at Stitch North 2023. With all the great plans in the world. Oops, where did this come from? Oh well. Anyways, something's flashing outside my door. Oh, it's a school bus across the street. Anyways, I bought this in Stitch North 2023. I was all excited. It was going to be a stitch along. And a lot of people did it, and it was so beautiful. I suck at stitch alongs. September's revenge. So I bought it at Stitch North 2023. I had no freaking clue what the rest of the year was going to bring and how much upheaval I was going to have with the rest of 2023. So when I was at Stitch North 2023, weekend 2, I believe, or 1. I can't remember which one. I think it was weekend number 1. I was at weekend number 1 and they had this and I was so excited. And it's like, I haven't stitched one. Oh, and you had a special deal. And then some people did the full kit with the cross stitch package and the knitting. I'm not a knitter. My mom was a master knitter. I'd like to learn to knit. No, and right now I'm saying, oh, I maybe I can learn to knit in 2024. No, because I got 24 projects I want to start. Don't bite off, as my husband says, you always bite off more than you can chew, because that's just the way I am. So anyways, September never happened for the stitch along for me because I sold 2 properties, bought another one, and had to pack up 21 years of my life in a storage locker. That was my office. That didn't happen. I'm definitely going to start it. Because September was just, all I had the bandwidth was to work on Winter Kaleidoscope. That's the only mental bandwidth I had through August, September, October, November. And it was very sporadic at best. So, and I had a lot of gardens in the old house. This one's pretty much a blank slate. My gardens were like this. They were going like to town. I had Maximilian sunflowers that were just 7 feet tall. I had calendula flowers that were just going crazy. I had bergamot. I had smooth oxeye that the pollinators were loving. There was some stuff I had planted. My New Jersey tea was actually taking off. And yeah, so my gardens were, it's true, September, they were insane. So I can relate to the pattern. So 32 count, dirty porcelain. You've seen these, you've seen it a million times because you know what? Everybody did it. That bought the kit did it, except me. because you know, let's move. Let's just all of a sudden move. Ah! Oh, got her done. But the colors, oh my God, the colors. Anyways, I am going to start this. Yeah, I suck at start-alongs. Start-alongs. Stitch-alongs. I start and never finish. Okay, I gotta move the box. 1 second. Get this out of the way. Another stitch-along that Rhea didn't stitch. Reaching Skyward, Modern Folk Embroidery. I did not buy the stitch along from Modern Folk Embroidery this year's 2024. I practiced restraint. I love watching what everybody's doing. And what am I using? It's going to be 32 count. It's probably dirty porcelain. Looking at it, it's dirty porcelain. Yeah, it's dirty porcelain. Dirty porcelain. And amaretto. And Great Lakes. Oh, I love Great Lakes. And now I live across the street from a Great Lake. I do love living by the lake. Lake Huron is where I'm living. See? I don't know how people keep their threads. Then there are floss drops so neat and tidy and pretty. Because I suck at I don't. I can't even keep my hair. I am bare. I like to be bare. I am barefoot right now. It is freezing cold. I don't like wearing socks. I don't like wearing shoes. My hair is always a mess. And if I eat breakfast, I'm not wearing the shirt I'm planning to wear for the day because like this was not being worn at breakfast. Because no. All right, we have a Blackbirds design that I picked up in 2023. Birds of a Feather. 32 count, vintage, country mocha Belfast with needlepoint silks. Still in the plastic bag. I just love Blackbird designs. I love the old samplers and the history and all that. Anyways. Tiny Modernist is another one of my favorite designers. I got this for Christmas 2022 from Dave. Night Signs. I love it. It'll go with my witchy themed office. You can see it's out of sorts because I'm in cinematic, but I've got my witchy calendar and my wild woman calendar behind the door. I've got my crystals, all kinds of stuff. But anyways, 28 count chalkboard linen with the called for DMCs. Oops, and there's a package of needles in there. My husband picked this up through Stitches Central, so yeah, I mean, they're just such bright, happy colors. Oh, somebody's sending me a message, sorry. It looks like spam, saying FedEx can't deliver your package. Yeah, I know FedEx. FedEx knows me. They won't send me a text like that. Thank you very much. Oh, I got a text yesterday that you can tell the scammers' first language is in English because my 2022 retribution's coming. I almost responded, is it divine retribution? Because I'm all in if it is. But all right, what do we got? This is one of Ellen's Maximum Cross Stitch latest pieces, The Sale of the Zimmerman Farm. I love the personal history her family has to this piece she created. That's what I love about a lot of the samplers is the history. Unfortunately, with a lot of the historic reproduction samplers, we don't always had the opportunity to know the history behind the piece, the person who stitched it, etc., right? But what's really neat with this one is that Ellen created it specifically for this little important piece of her family's history. And I always wonder, because she says, where does she say where it is? And it's like, oh, because I used to live in the Waterloo region. So we would, GTA was just, you hop on the 401 and off you go. Like, it was easy to do. Like, that's what we did because it wasn't that far. And, yeah, it's just, I probably drove past this site. It doesn't look anything like this anymore, but I probably drove past this area, this farm, where her family's farm was, a bajillion times over the years. So, 32 count. Why would it be anything else? Panettone with the called for. There's a lot of colors to this one, Ellen. That's okay. I love color. Roxy Floss Co. colors. And there is that. Give me a second. Holy crap. And I'm the type of person, every time I kit a project, I buy floss. So I am going to have a massive stash of floss. Not as much as Caroline Crew have in the store, but yeah, it's going to be pretty. I am really, really looking forward to it. So that is definitely going to be a start. This was another Christmas present that Dave got me. Sorry if I make a lot of noise. So I got this from Dave, and it's from, purchased through Evertote. It's the Quaint Rose Needle Arts, Mary Amelia's Bird. Love it. I've had my eye on it. So I originally asked for the 32 count Panettone fabric, but he comes to me, goes, the 32 counts out. Deep breath. Okay. I can step outside. I can do hard things. I know some people think 36 count, so I ended up getting 36 count. But I always worry because of my eyes. I've always had bad eyes, and now that I'm 55, I've noticed over the last number of years, I used to wear contacts all the time, and now I can't because, yeah. And my mom had issues. So anyways, it is the floss conversion from Roxy Floss Co. I have not taken it out of the package yet, but I am definitely going to start this. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. All right. Next. Oh, this is something else I also picked up at Decapalooza. And again, worked with Carrie to do a floss toss. Red Stag Among the Roses, a Dutch 1862 sampler. Stunning, stunning. And again, I had to sit down with the flosses that Carrie pulled for me. Oh, and I got a new needle minder. I found my needle minders too. It's like I'm getting there. So, again, this is probably, oh shoot. It's not Speculoos. Is it Panettone? No. I might have to ask what it is. 32 count. I think it is Speculoos, because I was on a Speculoos kick. But it's looking darker. I'll have to look it up, which one it is. And then, again, a Roxy Floss Co. conversion. And again, Carrie's ultimate brilliant mind when it comes to picking out colors. And then I sat down with my DMC book to match what she picked with the DMC colors Jacob has in the pattern. And then I pulled some from my stash, and I think I had to order one more because I didn't have it, or I didn't have enough. I needed 2 skeins. I only had one, I think it was, of a couple. So anyways, yeah. a lot of colors, but you can see like, oh my goodness. So pretty. So, so pretty. It's a lot of color. A lot of colors. Look at that. Look at that. So, definitely going to start that. And I sat down and I wrote all of it. And I was going to use, there was supposed to be one that was DMC 3371, which is that dark brown that is very commonly used in a lot of projects. And I decided to use brunette from Foxy Floss Co. for that one. But yeah, let's see how that floss converts. Like, I am now doing floss conversions. Help with Carrie, of course, but look how far I've come. Okay, I picked this up at Stitch North 2023. It's another one. It's Rosewood Manors, a Tisket and a Tasket. Picked it up from Pastime Pieces, I love her stuff. Anyways, so it's the called for Weeks Dye Works threads. That there's a lot of blues, and I love blue. Oh my god, I love blue. Anyways, and so I have seen a couple of people working on it, and it's just, yeah, as we all know, the pictures on the covers of these patterns just do not do the pieces that these designers create justice. What? Oh, here it is. Picture this plus vellum, 32 count Laguna. 32 count. That's my comfort zone. So a little bit of out of my comfort zone with a lot of my comfort zone stitching fabric. So I can do things. Anyways. Oh, it is going to be stunning when it's done. It really is. I definitely want to get it started. All right, let's see if I can get it back in the bag without creating chaos. All right, let's just fold it in. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hang on to your seats there. Okay, this I got. It was the project for Stitch North 2022. I, of course, ordered it because that's what I do. It was the Stitch North sampler of 2022 from 4 Boys and a Newfoundland Girl Designs. Did you hear that? Oh, I think it's the box behind me. The wind's blowing, so sometimes I'm still getting used to the sounds of this house. Anyways, I bought this and I have yet to start it. This was Stitch North 2022, which was my very first cross stitch retreat that I had ever been to. And of course it's on that, is this the peanut brittle? I think this is the peanut brittle that Carrie cannot recreate no matter how much she tries, but oh, I love that color. And then of course the Roxy Floss Co. Oh, it came with a needle, yeah, Stitch North needle miner, yeah. See, the move was good for that. Like, as much as I hate moving, it has given me the, okay, what do I got? What do I need to get rid of? And, oh, it's like a treasure hunt. So anyways, I can't wait to get this piece, the needle threaded, and get this going. I really cannot wait. And of course, it's Evertote bag. I will stitch this. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. What's this one? It's on a Weeks Dye Works. Oh, it's another Rosewood Manor. I got this one on sale at Stitches Central a few years ago, Dreaming of Daisies. It was in the clearance rack. And I kitted it, got the kit this year. It's on Weeks Dye Works 30 count. Parchment with the called for Weeks Dye Works threads. There's a blue in there. So, I've never stitched a rosewood manner, so I got a couple in this pile. So, I am learning, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Oh, this one. So, Samantha, the Hygge Stitcher. Hygge Stitcher. I'm not Scandinavian, I'm Dutch, thank you very much. For her birthday month in August, did a stitch along. Did I mention I stitch alongs? I suck at stitch alongs. You will never see me. I should say never. It'll be extremely rare if you see me mention starting or hosting a stitch along, because I can't even keep up with ones that other people host. Anyways, she was hosting Lila Studio Summer Quicker. And my birthday's in August too. And I'm loving the colors, all that stuff. So my kids ordered it for my birthday, but because Samantha started this and announced it, I think there was a run on the patterns and all the stuff to make. And it arrived after we moved in here, November. My birthday's in August, and I had them order it end of July. Anyways, it is what it is. It's on 36 count. I asked for 32 count. My kids got me 36 count. I went, oh my God, but I'm not going to say anything. I can do it. I can do this. Latte from Fiber on a Whim. And called for DMCs. Look at those. Okay, they're on focus. I don't know if it's focusing or not because I don't have my glasses on, so my whole world's blurry. So, I will start it, even though the stitch along is long gone and done. All right, 2 more. This is number 23. As I said, I love samplers and the history behind some of them. That's why I love Jacob Palooza when he had some of his actual antique samplers that he had with him, and what he knew about some of them, what he did know. Oh, and the storm's starting. I can see the snow even through my blurry eyes. The storm has hit. Anyways, I picked this up for the traditional stitches stitch along. Stitch along that I don't stitch. Lucy Barber, 1857, from Hands Across the Sea. And I love Hands Across the Sea. And a lot of her samplers, from what I gather, are British samplers, and she's in England and she could do some of the history. So yeah, and some of the history of the stitching, and she's talking about Middle Ages red was the dominant color. Oh, I just love that it's like a book, because you get the pattern. I'm not going to show you the actual pattern, and you know, all that, but then she does some information, a history. Yeah. And I'm a history geek. And this is on 32 count Wood Smoke by Tabby Cat Linens. And the threads. Yeah, this is another one. It's from Soy d'Alger. I'm sorry. Threads, which is a thread I have never worked with. It's silk. This will be a learning experience. I have to go through the traditional stitches videos that she did for the stitch along that I never stitched along with. It's in a plastic bag. Yeah. I love stitch alongs, but some I don't even start. Again, this year is a little more predictable in my world. And number 24 for 24. There's a lot of plastic, sorry. Is GH 1857 by Simone de Jong van Wissen from Sode ID Atelier. I am Dutch, so it's in Dutch and in English. And I saw when it first came out, I think that was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I just fell, some people working on it, and I just fell in love with it. And I love that you have the big sampler, then you've got little pieces that you can also, which I have yet to do. Okay, this is gonna be a bag. Belfast linen, 32 count. Vintage smoky white is my linen. And call for, there's a mixture of threads. There's some Weeks Dye Works in there, a DMC, and some more silks. I am not going to take it out of the bag because that's going to be noisy. So, where am I at? An hour and 21 minutes. Look at that. So, those are my 24 starts for 24. You saw the whips. So, those are my cross-stitching plans, that whips that I hope to finish. No haul, but I know people are doing no spend January, but I had the $150 gift certificate from my mother-in-law from 123 Stitch. And so I had to get fabric for the bee sampler Quaker that my kids got me. And then I picked up some other stuff. I've decided, so of course I got to get more. Hello. I have a stack of patterns. So I bought some fabric and thread for a few of those patterns. So the next video, there definitely will be haul. I had to order some more Fuji from Evertote. So I can't, so, you know, like they're shipping me some thread. Oh, I will show you what I ordered. Yeah. And then, yeah. So my plan is to kit projects patterns that I already have. But I already, yeah, short-lived, what can I say? So, and then I know I'm in trouble because I watched Caroline and Carrie's latest Floss Tube that was filmed last weekend, and I think they published it Sunday, Monday, I can't remember. And at the end, they mentioned, hey, because Caroline's turning 50 this year. Welcome to the 50 plus club this year, Caroline. It's a fabulous age to be. I love my 50s. Just have to say that. Don't want to be 20 again. They mentioned, because Hannah's can be the floss conversion queen, to do the floss conversion for, I have to read this out loud, a peacock, unicorn, and a badger by Scarlet Letter. You've seen a number of people working on it. It is absolutely stunning. It is, you can tell it has been inspired by medieval tapestries. And I have oohed and awed over that pattern. When I first saw it pop up on somebody's floss tube, when it first came out, I don't even remember when, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. And I have oohed and awed, and it's like, oh yeah. It's like, no, focus on what you have, focus on what you have. Then Caroline and Carrie go, I wonder, as they're talking about Caroline's 50 starts for 50 years, being 50 this year, if Hannah could do a floss conversion. I went, oh God. And then I noticed on Instagram stories, they tagged Hannah. Hey, Hannah, do the floss conversion for this piece. Something tells me that you're going to see an Evertote and Roxy Floss Co. fabric and floss for peacock, unicorn, and a badger. I just love medieval tapestries. Dave and I, we have done a fair bit of travel. The pandemic kind of squished that. But, and I will see if I'll put the link in the description box below to a Rick Steves video of this tapestry. So in 2016, Dave and I were in Paris, and we like to hit the usual touristy things. We've done that, like Notre Dame, which is, you know, it was kind of ironic. We saw it and then it had the fire, so we like to go back. Versailles, we did the Versailles. But we also did the Cluny Museum. And it's a medieval building close to Notre Dame. It's one of Paris's hidden gems because it is not what would you call a traditional tourist hotspot. But it is freaking amazing. And in the museum, so they have a tapestry, the Lady and the Unicorn tapestry. And it tells the story. Now, at the time, the room was quite dark. I don't have the same film equipment as Rick Steves and his PBS crew do. But he does, I will link it below if you're interested to see that tapestry. And you can see elements from that tapestry in the Scarlet House Peacock, Unicorn, and a Badger tapestry, not tapestry, but cross-stitch pattern. So I remember being in the room and just oohing and eyeing over the walls, like just, and thinking of, I assume more than one person created these tapestries, and the hours and the detail that went into this. It is phenomenal. It tells a story. Again, the video down below. So I'm screwed if Caroline comes out with a whole kit of this, but I just love it. And tapestries, like even when we did Scotland in 2022, we did Holyrood Palace, and you can see some of Queen Mary's projects that she completed. They have a section that's dedicated to Queen Mary where her bedrooms were. And they have on display some of her cross-stitch pieces. Just amazing. Anyways, take a look. I just admire those kind of pieces, and I am screwed. And then also, so this winter is going to be, as I'm watching the snow and the wind pick up outside my window here, very much, I just need this time to recalibrate, as I said before. And spring's coming, so my other plans, stitchy and not stitchy, I'm attending both Stitch North retreats. So I am attending, I had to write this down. I will be attending weekend number 1 in the spring in Brampton, which is April 19th to the 21st. And then I'm also attending, I got it as a Christmas gift from Dave, the October weekend, which is the 25th to the 27th. So I'm really excited for that. So winter, feather my nest, do some starts, cross stitch. April, the eclipse is coming to town. So we are a big science family. My husband is the Pale Brown Shed on Instagram. You will see his astrophotography. It is on hold right now because we don't have the sky shed, but he's excited to build one in the spring because we actually have dark skies over this way to the north to the lake. And that's where he does most of his imaging. But anyways, the eclipse is coming to our area. So the last time there was an eclipse was August 2017, which was, it happened on my birthday, August 21st, 2017. And we had loaded up all the kids because we're all science geeks and drove down to Isle of Palms, just outside of Charleston, South Carolina. And we got to watch the eclipse with our special glasses that Dave got us on the beach in South Carolina watching the eclipse, and then went back to the house we had rented, and my husband and my kids took me out for dinner for my birthday, and we got to go to Charleston, and then it was just fabulous. So this year we can see the eclipse. It's in April, so maybe sunny, maybe not. April 7th, I believe. So my husband's birthday is April 6th. So Dave and I are traveling to Niagara-on-the-Lake, because that will be the path of totality, is through Niagara-on-the-Lake, Kingston. So we are staying at Queen's Landing. I have not been to Niagara-on-the-Lake in years. It's one of my favorite places to be. I love the different hotels that are part of the umbrella. That we've stayed at the Prince of Wales, so now we're staying at the Queen's Landing, and we're excited. I'm booked a reservation for a birthday dinner for him. We have family that can watch the cats now, so I added an extra knit for Christmas. I surprised him. We added his birthday. So yeah, the eclipse is the 8th. His birthday's the 6th. There we go. And so I booked an extra day so that we can go down there on his actual birthday and celebrate his birthday. Use the 7th to enjoy the area, and the 8th, hope and pray the skies are clear and we can see the eclipse. And then I think the 9th we head back to down here. So that's what's going on for that. And then I have Stitch North, April 19th to the 21st. So I'm excited about that. And then our other travel plans is Scotland and England. As I said, our oldest daughter, so we have to go overseas at some point. We just don't know when. So Laura is finishing up her PhD. She's doing planetary sciences, and I think she's handing in, her and her mentor have been putting the finishing touches the last while on her final PhD thesis. And if you know anybody who's gone through a PhD, there's no, like, okay, you expect to finish, but sometimes things happen, right? And unfortunately for her, she started her PhD in October 2020, as we all know what was going on. So, but she powered through, and she's pretty much done. Like, she's supposed to be finished in January, excuse me, which is now, and she is pretty much done. And which means there's a convocation, and we will be going overseas. We just don't know when. It could be this summer. She might make the summer convocation. She might make the fall convocation. It all depends on when she gets her PhD thesis finished, submitted, defended, and accepted by the panel. So she's been published in peer-reviewed journals, so I don't see a problem or a delay in this, but who knows, right? She's at the University of Glasgow, and we went to Scotland in 2022 to visit her, and now she's in England. So we are really excited, and we just don't know when we're going to go, because it's all up in the air, to go back to the UK, and she's at the University of Glasgow. Any Outlander fans here that have watched the Outlander TV series? Their cloisters were used to stand in for Harvard in some of the scenes with when Claire and Brianna were in modern day Boston. So that is the university my daughter is at, the cloisters. I'll see if I can submit some pictures that we took of the cloisters. They've been used in many other films. There's a lot of aspects. It's one of the oldest universities in the world. So for her to go there, it was just phenomenal. So we're really excited. We just don't know what we're going to do. We definitely want to spend some time in London, England. We'll probably do our usual fly from Toronto to Heathrow, and then go to Glasgow for her convocation. I kind of want to put the convocation near the beginning, and then we can take Laura and explore. And want to see Stonehenge, some other ancient stone circles because of where she is. She's just outside of Oxford, so she's not too far. And then London. She's been to London a few times, so she said she can show us a few things. She's done the Tower of London. She's done some of the museums. She had to use one of the museum's equipment. That's why she's been to London a few times. And they have specialized equipment that she needed for her research. And so we'll see. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. And then Stitch North in October. And then just using the rest of the year to just regroup. I don't know if anybody's a fan. I'm a big reader, and Sharon Blackie is one of my favorite authors. She wrote Rise Rooted or something. I'm terrible at remembering. Anyways, she released a book fall of 2022 called Haggitude, which had to do with women entering menopause. She's a fabulous storyteller, and she had created an online 1-year course based on her work in the book Haggitude. And it was broken down in monthly segments following the path of the major arcana of the tarot. So you start off with the Fool and work your way through. Because 2023 was just whatever, I did not get a chance to work through the modules with everybody else, but I have access to it for an indefinite time. So my plan is this winter is also to start working on the Haggitude course that I joined, that I never was able to complete because of life. Now things are a little more settled, and I got the book because I signed up for the course. I got an autographed book of Haggitude. So actually sit down, read it, and absorb her words. She has such a way for words. And do that course. And yeah, because I find growing up women in menopause. So that's something that's just sparked my passion. And I did my menopause practitioner course, and now there's also the more emotional, spiritual side of menopause. And I just love this paragraph of Sharon's in her book. Menopause, like all times of transition, is a time between stories, when the old stories fade and a new story is waiting to emerge. Its invitations are manifold. It's a liminal time, when we hover on the brink of profound transformation. During this period of intense physical change, it's also necessary to turn inwards, to embark upon the inner work of elderhood, the work of reimagining and shaping who we want to be in the world, of gaining new perspectives on life, of challenging and evolving our belief systems, of exploring our calling, of uncovering meaning, and ultimately finding healing for a lifetime's accumulation of wounds. I am really excited to work through that course. So get something else I will be doing. And then once I find my recipe development notebook, I also want to get into my new kitchen and play. Once I finish this and get it uploaded into iMovie, I have to make dinner because I am making butternut squash vegan macaroni and cheese. And the big one that I had started to play with a recipe was vegan gluten-free puff pastry. I had started experimenting with some recipes, but I was using the wrong flour mixture. And then once I figured out what I was doing wrong, life. So I want to have that figured out as well. So hopefully later this year, you will see me with like, look what I did. Because puff pastry is tough, even when it's not gluten-free. So anyways, those are my plans. As always, keep smiling. Don't forget to pick up that needle and thread whenever you can and get some stitches in, because it's good for the soul. And enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you next time. Glasses? No glasses. Glasses? No glasses.